Welcome to the ORCA pod covering Canberra Survivor 3 versus the World, episode 4. Lots of fantastic content to get into. We've seen a second boot. Disappointingly, the boots are not available. We've seen Jay go, we've seen Maddie go, and they're not available for interview. They're presently recovering from their Canberra Survivor experience by gallivanting around the globe, enjoying their world. They truly are now one with the world tribe that they were placed upon, and they're out in the world, Jay and Maddie, and they're not available for interviews due to time zone differences. And also, they're probably like, fuck it, I was the first / second boot, I don't give a shit. And that's how we all recover from these things when you get booted early, I'm sure. Not that I've experienced that, but the fact is, I'm sure that's where they're at and that's where they want to be, and I respect that. But I'm sure as we move through with the show, we'll get a few more of the people that have been removed for interviews. But for this episode, like the last couple, you have to settle for myself and my ORCA pod companions. Welcoming first, Jules, welcome.
Sorry, I was recovering from laughing so much at your intro. I love the, not that I would know anything about that. How many tribals did you actually go to? Let's be real.
I've played orgs and stuff. I've never been the first boot. And now also welcoming the other person, Dani, welcome.
Yeah, I don't know what it's like to be booted that early either.
Well, there we go. So we respect their decision. We don't know what it's like, and we respect how they don't want to come on this show and talk about, Jay's one, hour in the game and then losing a challenge. I guess it's tough. I think Maddie would be more interested, but she says her time zones are very tricky at the moment. But hopefully we can get her on eventually, or maybe we'll get the next person to get booted out of the swamp of sadness, which sadly, I'm finally going to lose someone. Jules, you've lost someone now. You lost the first person with Jay, but you got a massive 8 points because that crazy tribal. Dani has now lost Maddie. She gets 4 points for that because there were 2 votes not for Maddie, plus 2 points for being the second boot. And I'm going to get someone voted out here, whether it be Amy or Anthea. I was really excited when Amy won that challenge. I was like rooting for her. I cheered. Now I don't know how I'm going to feel come next challenge.
To pick between your babies.
I think that Amy has a better chance if she gets back in the game, so I'm going to root for Amy.
I love Anthea. I'd be happy if she won, but I've decided that I'm rooting for Amy to have a Matt Elrod arc and just win all the way and get back in. I think that would be awesome.
They get sent straight back out?
I think it's sent straight. Well, I mean, if she wins all those duels, she is out.
Straight back out. 100%.
Like Matt Elrod style?
Yeah.
Even Boston Rob seemed to feel a little bit bad about that. Do you think any of the contestants here would feel bad about that?
No.
Like, we did it, but, he felt a little bit bad.
The difference here is they've also spent, 2 hours with her?
Yeah.
I
think it's sitting island by himself for days on end.
Yeah.
You're saying, okay, so the exile experience in the Swamp of Sadness is not comparable to...
Zero comparable.
I mean...
Unfortunately.
It's an LRG.
All right, well, let's talk. We normally jump to the end. That's been our approach for the last couple of weeks. I don't think we should break away from that. What an ending for the People's Champion. Could have been potentially the best or one of the best plays in LRG history, to read that John is flipping, to find out / read who they're going to vote for Anthea when there's 3 options there, to then play the idol, which turned out to be an actual idol, play it on the correct person, only for Dan to snuff his dreams of the People's Champion by telling him that it's only good for the tribe which it was found on. I was shocked.
It was a roller coaster of emotions when Dan's like, this is a valid immunity. I was like, oh, cool. And then, lol jokes. No, it's not.
Yeah. Lol jokes is valid, but not here.
Yeah.
I also want to give a lot of credit to the People's Champ for not even trying, even though he doesn't have the paperwork for this thing, And he's only ever just assumed it's an idol. I don't think he even made the C connection that Andrew made. Well, at least not on camera to us. So he just assumed this might be idol. He didn't even do the usual sort of LRG thing, or we'd be like, even in the real deal, we'd be like, oh, well, look, I don't know if this is an idol, so look, but maybe I'm going to play it just in case. Yeah, there's always that like self-protection to make sure that, if you do look a bit like an idiot, you sort of covered it up.
Yeah,
He didn't even do that. He's just boom.
It's like, yeah, motherfucker, this is an idol. No, it's not.
Now, question about the flash forward, and Jules and I were having a little bit of an argument off air, of which is incorrect. I referenced, that was the best season of Lost when they started doing the flash forwards, and Jules lost interest at that point for some reason when it actually got good. But regardless, the flash forward here to Andrew finding the note, which explains the aforementioned paperwork that Jules was rabbiting on about in a prior episode as to why this could be an idol. Is this, or was this supposed to be a swap idol? Did the paperwork only appear once they swapped?
I don't think so. I think because they were found on their original tribes. It's a massive coincidence that Eden and Andrew both swapped tribes.
Has it taken 5 episodes for Andrew to find the paperwork?
It doesn't seem like people have particularly been looking though. Like from the edit, no one's hunting. There's generally a point of consent, focus. If people are out there doing those things, people are either annoyed by it, they're sus on those people, everybody goes together. Besides episodes maybe 1 and maybe 2, there's been no mention. And
maybe it was just really well hidden and they couldn't find it, and so people on Prod were like, shit, we need to move it. We need to make it more obvious.
Well, yeah, I'm curious where it was found will be helpful.
Yeah, we've got 2 idols that are on the wrong camps and they don't know, which we are now robbed of that awesome moment of them trying to swap them.
Or Andrew perhaps they just gave Andrew the paperwork. We're going to have to see this next week. They're like, we don't want another idol completely wasted.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
Yeah, Andrew, here's the paperwork for your idol, by the way.
Yeah.
It also seemed from Andrew's, look, we got a very small flash forward confessional, but it seemed from that Andrew may have his idol with him.
Yes, I think
just the way he was talking in the small bit.
Yes, so it's useless for me here.
Yeah.
So it seems like he dug it up.
Yeah.
Before he moved.
Is he now going to give it to someone on the other tribe? They don't need it, but hey, he might.
Why would he? Those people.
I don't think he.
They had him at the bottom of their tribe. They now have the power. Why would he possibly do that? The only reason I could think that he could do that, because he likes to cause a bit of chaos. And the question is now, with the paperwork that we've seen, again, only a very quick fast forward, it appears that these idols would expire at merge. It makes no reference to them being playable except on the specific tribes on which they were found.
It said that it's only able to be played pre-merge.
Yeah, okay. It specifically said only before merge.
So I think Andrew would have done a swap if there was a situation.
I could see him if we don't really see him talking about wanting to work with Squid and Aiden, but if he's trying to work with them, he can be like, hey, who should I give this to? And they'd be like, well, John, it looks like John's the one that's flipped and he's our person, but hey, if you want to give it to someone, go for it.
Exactly. That's certainly viable. But the other point you mentioned was about swapping it with Eden, and again, limited information, limited flash forward, but he makes a comment about knowing that Eden's idol is no good. Andrew seems to have there's a lot of information. It seems like Andrew has his, somehow got the paperwork, he knows that Eden had the idol on the
he knows everything.
It'd be interesting to get this information, and hopefully it's covered in the episode. So he might have been prepared to make that swap, but obviously it's not viable now. I was talking before, though, before we got on the air, and I put it to you, ladies, and you seem to not have considered this before I said it. So I'll say it again here, and we can talk about it now. I feel the idol play, as amazing as it was, and look, it makes sense to do it because for all he knows, he's got an idol, though he didn't know that for certain. But the better strategy, I guess in hindsight, it's absolutely the better strategy. At the time, it would have been one alternative strategy, would have been to use Anthea's advantage, the mutiny advantage, to send someone away from the yellow tribe. You know, you've clocked that John has potentially flipped. You've clocked that he's looking to work with the other tribe. So what do you need to do? You need to make the numbers better. Now, one option is to send away John, but all you're doing then is sending John to his besties, and so they're going to link back up again. And that's making the numbers super tight. 3-3, yellow, black. It's a tight 3 on yellow. It's a tight 3 of old rando birds. So they are going to go to rocks. Whereas if you send someone from the yellows, probably like a Loz or a Todd, and then that creates a situation where now is John and his newfound besties, in the scenario Ed and Loz or Ed and Todd, going to go to rocks for each other. Look, I could see Ed actually going to rocks for fucking anyone. So that's
he wouldn't have a clue what rocks means.
This is true, but he seems like a loyal guy.
That's why I think you send Todd. Keep Loz, keep the super fan. She's not going for a rock to save John.
Yeah, and that's who you vote for. As the blacks, you vote for John. You got yellows. Do you really want to like lock in with your newfound person here?
Yeah.
You know, obviously the reason why they wouldn't is you say, well, yes, we could, because if we lose again, then we're stuffed. But, you know, you're making an assumption of merge soon. And again, another incredible call from the People's Champion.
Oh, I wrote this down too. I was like, boy, here we go.
He watched Canberra 1. And at this point in Canberra 1, they did a double elimination. It was individual immunity, and that's why they should vote for Ed. And guess what? Next time on Canberra, have you guys watched the next time on Canberra Survivor?
I don't
know. You have this
I
time?
Watched it this time.
It's a double immunity. It's individual. It's actually in pairs, similarly to what they did in Canberra 1. So they'll be paired up with someone from the other tribe, and 2 people have immunity. So Eden absolutely perfectly called everything that was going to happen in this episode.
Yeah.
And
going back to the which advantage you should have played, I hadn't thought that much about who to send away. I definitely agree they should have played Abs' advantage first, just because you're not sure about the idol. One gets played before you vote, one gets played after you vote. If you play the idol in this situation and it's not a real idol, you can't go back and play the other one. So I would have gone with the safer bet and play that and get rid of probably Todd, now that I've thought about it. Yeah.
The other option, that if I say this again, actually, either working it through, the only reason I say not to send Ed is because Ed is a danger for the other tribe in terms of making them stronger. But if you're so sure, like Eden is, about your precognitive abilities, and you know that it's going to be individual immunity, well, who gives a shit if Ed's on the other tribe?
He'll just win. But the assumption is that it's going to be a double and then a merge. Are we sure it's going to be a merge next? Or is there possibly going to be one more round because of the Swamp of Sadness person's going to come back in?
Well, if we do a double elimination, how many people are then left in the game after that?
10.
There will be 10?
Yeah. So presuming that someone is going to come back in, that will take you to 11. So you'd think it's probably going to be one more round.
I don't know. It's 10.
There's currently 12 people in the game. There's 6 on each tribe.
Okay. I can't see them having one more round. I think they...
So merge at 11?
Yeah.
Okay.
With a swampy returning.
Yeah. I'm not sure. That would be something that entered my mind. Like, are you so sure it's going to merge next?
Well, I think it's a bit rough for the Swampies, who are going to get a double. Someone's going to win this one, and then they're going to get 2 people, so it's going to be like a triple challenge to win that, and then have to face one more person. I think it's more likely that the triple challenge organically leads to the return.
Makes sense.
That would be my gut.
What are we looking at final 2, or are we just going to do another double at some point?
Definitely final 3.
Final 3 for sure.
Yeah, final 3 with 8 jurors.
Yeah.
Sorry, my math is not mathing. I'm just.
I
it was
feel
like an
like
odd number, and I was like, my brain hurts.
It's also been a 5th episode. It's pretty common in LRGs to reach the merge. Sorry, it's usual to reach the merge by the 6th episode. So I do feel that this is the sort of scenario we're looking at here. So I don't really begrudge anyone on the Rando Bird crew of the Yellow Tribe for not playing it this way, because it really is like the optimal move. It just seems like in the real time, playing this thing under the pressure of it, it may have been difficult to conceptualize all of these ideas. You know, when they weren't
even seems to be the conceptualizer. So the fact that he didn't
knows everything.
Thought of all the other things. Shame on you, People's Champion.
In fact, look, you know, I feel a bit.
Not his advantage.
I feel a bit in this episode for Eden, because it's probably one of the best reads I've ever seen in LRG, and he gets bubkiss for it. So in tribute to the People's Champion, who I think might be in a bit of a tight spot now, I've decided that the drinks package that I offered, because, you know, look, I want the drinks to happen. Like, you know, I can go,
money.
So basically, it's like, all right, if he makes it to merge, now we'll have drinks.
No, I think top 3 is a tough ask for anyone.
You were very confident about that a week ago.
Yeah, but I'm just trying to open up. I'm going to make it top 5, assuming that's the finale. Make the finale.
Make the finale.
Be in at the start of the finale, which is normally top 5. But if it's top 4, whatever it is, you have to be in coming into the finale.
All right, so spoiler alert, the finale episode is going to be when there's 9 people left. He is going to be there.
So that's where we're at. So get behind him. He's earned himself a couple of extra spots here by being so incredible in this episode and getting nothing for it. I cannot wait to when we interview him and ask how he felt in that moment when he found out it was a real idol, which, you know, he couldn't be certain about. And then to find out it's not one that he could play. And for Dan to like flip it and go, you see how this is all black? That's what you got.
Yeah.
Oh, that was very cool. Yeah.
And I think had the 2 idols ended up on the same tribe and like people were comparing, they might have realized if they're with the colors on the back.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe. I also think I may have looked at them and be like, just because it matched. I don't think
Yeah, because it just wants to match. It's aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah.
Because they had to match the flag.
Yeah.
And not be apparent as a
as
an advantage. Well, in terms of the tribal, do we have anything else we want to discuss? I think we should probably just talk about John's big flip. We foreshadowed it last week. It was very clear in the sort of next time on that it was going to happen. How do you guys think?
Are you frozen?
What do you think?
He's frozen. We think lots of things. I think he's going to ask, do we think it was a good flip? But
do you think it was a good option?
I think so.
Yeah,
I think he looked at where his 2 closest allies are. They're on a tribe in the minority, presumably going to be going very soon.
Mm-hmm.
He went, I need to make new connections. These aren't my people. How about I help these people out? So,
Absolutely. And we said that like when you look at the like Ed and Todd of it all, like they're very similar Alpha-esque. And Beth says it, like she was like he's drawn to those type of players, those big boys all together. And we call that as like as a blooming romance coming. So I think it's like a straight vibe. I think it was smart. He was at the bottom of the others, and I feel he has more wiggle room within the yellows.
Absolutely. CK, you're moving again.
Yeah, sorry, I froze there. I'm hotspotting from a hotel, so not the most ideal podcasting conditions, but glad to be back. I hope you got my question, and you've just been answering it.
We did.
Yes. What John did really well was, as you say, ingratiate himself with these new people who he felt more comfortable with. What he didn't do so well is obviously hide the fact that he ingratiated himself with these people. Now, I think we were discussing this off air, and I'm ready for a debate on this. I actually think he was a very convincing liar, actually a better liar than I thought he would be in terms of the conversations he had with the old Rando Bird people. But I felt that it's not very effective to tell people to their face, yeah, I'm with you, and then just go hang out with your new besties for like 30 minutes. And
I'm going to have to completely disagree with you. He was a terrible liar.
But that's the thing, like you, Jules, you would read people for a living. You're an ex-cop. Like most people don't read people the way that you read people.
I made a lot of notes.
For. Like, come on.
No. I'm just talking about the words that he used. Not the group conversation. That was fine. When he had a one-on-one with Bethany in particular.
She was pressing him though. She was coming at him from all angles.
Yeah, look, she was really awkward though.
Okay, I agree, collapsed in the Bethany conversation. Yes. I was perhaps referring more to the conversations he was having with the broader old bird guys.
Yeah, that was fine. That original one was absolutely fine. But he literally said to her, if we weren't sticking with the 4, I'd probably want to vote Anthea. And then she was like, well, what's your preference here? He's like, oh, you mean between out of those yellows? She's like, no, out of everyone. Everyone on the tribe. Who is your preference? He's like, oh, I don't really know.
Yeah. Bethany got pretty sorted there.
Oh, she was honest.
And that's how they knew that Anthea was the vote. If that idol was a real one, that would have been a successful idol play, thanks to John basically telling them.
And then Ed would have been gone.
We would have been robbed of content.
Not
that Anthea's not delivering the content, but we would be losing our puppy.
Ed will win the challenges. Come on.
They haven't been very physical.
Those little puzzles, I don't know. He's fast. That's about it.
If we talk about, so I think that was, look, you're right. He really crumbled with Bethany, which is interesting because it's not like he was super close with Bethany. I think he just couldn't handle the pressure, perhaps a little bit that she was applying.
She was playing it so well. She was so kind of nonchalant about it. She seemed like she was unsure. She was like, I don't know. What do you think we should do?
And it started off. Oh, sorry, go.
No, go.
No, it started off with her being like him saying, we're voting for Ed. And she's like, okay, are you okay with that? Because I know you like Ed. Like it wasn't like she was grilling him like, well, are you going to flip? Are you against it? She's like, oh, it's hard because I feel like you like him. I like him too. He's a great guy, but, it's the right move for us. And it just, I don't feel like she was applying pressure. He just crumbled for no reason.
I just feel like she came at him because you saw him kind of question her as to like, are you wanting to do something here? Because she made it seem like she was like, oh, look, you and I are having this conversation. What do we want to do as a pair? How do you feel about that? Because I don't know, but I would like to do something. What would the two of us do? And then you kind of see him trying to feel her out and be like, and that's when he throws it. It was like, oh, if we weren't 4, we could potentially do this. Like, so she asked him all the right questions in all the right ways. She's my Bromy for today, like just FYI.
Yeah, 100%. 100%
the Bromy of this episode.
She was also one of the better players of the episode.
100%.
Absolutely. She was the best player of the
episode.
episode.
Before Ed and Anthea on John. I mean, it was like the fact that they didn't clock it and were both kind of originally like, no, that's ridiculous. It was like, come on, tune in.
Yeah. If the Bromy was the best player of the episode, she'd be getting it as well.
100%. But then when like you see Anthea throw to Ed in that conversation, being like, "Oh, do you think John's flipping?" And Ed starts to answer, and she just like talks over him, like, "No." And you see like Ed kind of look back and he like look at Anthea, like, "No, I don't think it's." Like they have like an eye conversation between them.
I love that.
He just talks over them. Like she's just like, for me, she's absolutely the Bromy of the episode.
Yeah. I love the other thing that she did incredibly well in this episode was start building some bonds with Todd. Now, I don't know if that had an impact in terms of who the old yellows decided to target as their option. It was partly, I guess, what John was willing to do and who he was willing to vote for. But, Bethany was also getting information from Todd and building a relationship there that could serve her well. What did you think about her conversations with Todd?
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah.
I thought it was smart. I thought he played that very well. He was like kind of non-committal, but ingratiated himself. He was not with Ed and Loz all of the time, like making himself seem as another alternate option to be pulled in. Smart from both of them.
Because did they not even am I correct that the Rando Birds discussed that they might want to bring in Todd?
Yes. I think Beth said she wanted to pull him in, yeah.
But we've previously already seen that Todd had talked about when they were talking, they're like, do we think John's with us? He was like, I'm going to keep working on Bethany because I think I've got a good connection there. So he was trying to bring her onto his side and she was trying to bring him onto her side. So they're making a connection. It's just
Todd or John?
Todd and Bethany were making a connection.
when Todd wasn't certain that John was going to flip.
Yeah, when they were like, "Is John with us? We don't know." And
he was like, "Well, I'll keep working on Bethany as a second option."
It's a strong play from all three of those yellows. I think they're going to be a very tight three. I actually think that that's the sort of three that could make, like if they stick, you got things to go the right way for you. But I wouldn't see any of them breaking on each other. Like, if I'm Todd, I'm happy to go to the end with someone like Ed, who's not going to know them what to say, or Lauren, who is a big Survivor fan, but Todd, maybe she gets underestimated, or underappreciated, like sometimes happens to women who are part of an alliance with two men. It's not fair, but it sort of just happens, right? I could see that. From Loz's perspective, she's like, they're going to underestimate me, and then I'm going to bust out all my Survivor knowledge and my skills and how I had to come in the game at the last minute and blah, blah, blah. And I think she's probably a better talker than Todd in terms of, I think she could be more assertive about her own achievements, which is what she'd need to do in that position. And Ed would be like, well, these are my people, so I'm going to the end with them, right? And I think that all have a fairly decent, in their own head, win equity against the other, which is what makes a final three alliance that would actually stick together.
Yeah, and I can see them running the table.
I think Ed and Loz just need to be careful not being paired as a power couple here, because like in this episode, there was just two of them together constantly. They were never separate talking to other people. They were talking to people together.
So let's say this is the merge, right? So let's like prophesize. Let's take the people's champions' cognitive abilities of predicting the future and think about what's going to happen. So either Oscar or Andrew is going to get booted over at New Rando Bird.
Presumably.
No question. It'll be one of them. They're going to go for each other, and someone's going to lose.
That's the two people on that side that aren't on my fantasy team, so I'm happy with that.
Over here, I think we're going to see Eden get booted just because of his idle play.
Yeah.
So then someone, yeah, that's right. It comes down to that immunity, of course. So let's say then someone comes back in, put that to one side. You've got a pretty strong early merge alliance of the three yellows plus John's original allies of Aiden and Squin. Like, that's a pretty good core six, right? It's fair. It's broken up. It's 3-3. There's a connection. They don't have to boot Oscar right away, who obviously, Aiden's not going to want to boot right away. There's other options. There's other guys didn't mind Oscar either, and he's like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I just can see the game very much unfolding that way in the early merge. Things will change at some point. You have to assume with players of this caliber, but it seems like from an early merge position, that group's going to come in pretty strong.
100%.
Except Sab is still the winner, so I've just got to factor that in. But
I don't see how Sab's coming through that.
Sab's winning the whole thing. I've already told you this.
Sab is collateral damage early merge in a situation.
Yeah, I think so. I think, my girl might be in trouble. But hey, look, this is all just fan fiction at this point. We don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. Andrew is going to, I think.
I like that final three. I've got two out of that final three. I think it works for me.
You weren't even at the. No, you were at the draft. Sorry, Jules wasn't at the draft. That's right. Sorry.
I'll still win though, because I'm going to get all the people that get all the extra points for the votes. Still don't fully know how that works, but
you're in an incredibly fortunate situation with 8 points. Do we want to talk some more about New Yellow, or should we jump back to the start as we like to do?
Let's go back
to the beginning.
Okay. So the Jewel, what have you got about the Jewel?
I really liked this.
I loved it. I loved the Jewel. I thought it was fantastic.
And from the beginning, watching it, I'm like, Amy's got this. Because she was putting extra knots just in the rope, which if you're trying to undo a knot that's just rope on rope, that's not holding anything together, it's so much harder to get it loose.
I agree. The pieces of wood were a trick. You could just ignore them completely. Just try a bunch of knots in the rope.
You just had to include all of them. And she made it kind of like a key ring. She just put them all through the first hole. Whereas Maddie was trying to go this one. Like she can see where it's going.
That's so much easier to untie if it's wrapped around the wood.
Mm-hmm.
Super smart. Just keyring. I didn't notice that she did that. So smart from Amy.
It was the first hole every time, and it was just put it through, not, put it through, not. Like, yeah. It meant that Maddie looked like she had an early lead because she got some blocks off first, but she was taking forever. And once once Amy really got it undone, it was just like, there we go.
Yeah.
It's another really well-designed challenge. It's a throwback to some old school Survivor, shout out to Loz, where they used to make the sticks and stick them in the tunnel and then it's a real but in a smaller capacity.
I love those things. Yeah.
It's I like them too. It's very much on you. Like you make it as hard as you can for the other person. It's on your own skill level to then untie it. Untying knots is a Survivor classic. Like it in all it's a very, very fair challenge. Not predicated to someone like really that's good at puzzles or fit or good at throwing stuff. It really doesn't matter. Like it's just it's just a really critical thinking and then your ability to perform and under pressure. Just a fantastic challenge.
Yeah, I would have sucked at it because I have no nails, but Amy crushed it.
I feel like I would have been like on my teeth. I would not.
Sad to see. As I said, sorry, Maddie, but I cheered when Amy went, but Amy won. But that's because I have her in the draft. But I think Maddie had a real couple of bad turns of luck here. Like it was sort of brought on a bit herself by being just so ORCA at the beginning and being so clearly dominant in her tribe, and then being the obvious target in a swap situation where she was swap screwed. But still, swap screwed, very difficult. She had the full control of the OG rando birds, and just came up here against an absolute beast. I think she could have really gone deep in the game, if not for a bit of bad luck. But that's Survivor, right? Sometimes you just have bad luck.
And you see her kind of own that. She when she's talking to Amy, she's really shocked at first, and then when she's talking, she's like, actually, I kind of did this to myself a little bit.
Yeah.
No. The reflection of sadness, the swamp of reflection, whatever it is.
Swamp of reflection, yeah.
But another thing was she swapped into a minority from her original tribe. She's in a minority within that group as well. She's the bottom of the bottom of the bottom. Like
that's right.
The swap could not have been worse for her unless it was all 6 yellows and just her. Like there was nothing she could do there.
I think that's a better swap.
Yeah, actually, they're probably more likely to come for each other.
Yeah, because they're like, but I want to make a move and blah, blah, and I can use it now. She's got no power. Let's use her. I think this is probably the worst case scenario.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
With the two people that weren't in your alliance that then you you got Aiden with his 4 votes, who's obviously going to get the most airtime from the other group. Absolute disaster situation. Very unfair for her. I think that she could have been a really interesting and strong player, had she been able to continue.
100%. I would have liked to see her get deep. Well, speaking of Aiden, let's just jump straight into that trial. He's sitting for where he was the first couple of episodes to now. He's sitting very nice.
Yeah,
very nicely.
Well, I did call that he or Jay would be the first boot. But I didn't call that whoever survived would be going straight into the merge.
I thought the other one would follow them out the door, to be honest.
100%, yeah. One after the other, yeah. He's sitting very pretty and now is a very lesser target for everybody.
I think they could keep on losing and he's going to hang in there.
I'm absolutely going to be putting some words in his mouth. And obviously the fact that he got the 4 votes, and we talked about this at length last episode, was a huge advantage for putting where he was on the tribe and therefore the most interesting one for the yellows to gather up. But, the reason we didn't predict him to do well was his own self-admitted pre-game video where he talked about that he struggles to make social connections, that he's very introverted in that way, that she doesn't like to, make these new relationships. And I think that the swap screw has actually helped him find himself in this element again in that scenario, not just because of the votes, but because for someone and I'm not that sort of person, but trying to put my head in that person's shoes, it's just a different social environment. You're on the bottom, your position. People aren't going to expect you to be big and exuberant and happy and trying to make a fun time. You expect it to be a little bit cautious and down. You're just trying to make one-on-one bonds, which is what he says he's good at one-on-one bonds. He's not just good in a group. This is a one-on-one bond time. He's trying to make that with Oscar. I'm sure he's trying to make it with other people as well. And his demeanor, his whole style just fits better in that vibe than, say, the opening tribe vibe. That's sort of like a complete projection, but I get my idea of how he might be feeling.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. I think when you're in that initial stage of the game, you have to be doing the small talk and the chit chat and the stuff that's just painful, to be frank. I want to get into the strategy.
Yeah.
And when you get to the swap, it's kind of a bit more understandable if you go straight into strategy. And you've already been to a tribal, so you're not like, oh, I don't want to be the first one to talk strategy. We've all been to tribal before. We know what's happening now. Let's talk about the game. Which I think is something he wants to be doing.
Yeah. And I think he's going to, as I say, I can't see him being a target in the merge now that he's made it.
Like, no, he's a number for anybody to pick up. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's early. Like you said, he's going to pick up with those three on the other side, like to join with John and Squin and him, and he's going to be part of a core 6. Like, fucking incredible is that?
Yeah, Bethany's going to be begging to want to work with him.
Oh, but Bethany's going soon, babe.
That's what I'm saying. Like, whichever one of her or Eden survives.
Eden's got it.
I think Eden's going this next one. So if she gets to merge with him, she's going to be like coming crawling right back to him. Is more my point.
Eden's got no chance here unless he gets immune. He made the big move. He played the idol. He looks all fancy and impressive. And Bethany built the relationship with Todd. So Todd's going to be like, let's do Eden. And because of all the reasons that I just said, not because I've got a secret like alliance with Bethany, but, like I can't see Eden surviving unless he's immune.
Agreed.
Yep.
Unless Anthea handed off her mutiny advantage and he just nopes out of there.
That's actually interesting. If she plays that at the next tribal, it's a double tribal. So it depends on who goes to tribal first. Because let's see a scenario where Eden wins immunity and their tribe goes to tribal second. She whips out her thing and see you later.
Out, though. Anthea's out.
No, if she handed it off.
Oh, she handed it off.
She didn't. Did she hand it off?
I'm
postulating
a scenario where she handed it off.
We don't know.
Let's say she handed it off. I forgot she was out. Let's say she handed it off. Let's say that advantage is still in the game. That would be so cool. If Bethany's got it now, Bethany pieces out. Those yellows plus John.
She should have handed it off, by the way.
It was, she thought she was having an idol play. I don't know. She thought she was going to be safe. Yeah,
but he didn't really know it was an idol.
I think she still trusted that John was going to stay with them.
Do you think? Do you think Anthea thought that?
I don't know.
She was adamant before they went to tribal, but they'd all kind of changed their mind by the time they were at tribal.
Did anyone look at her facial reaction when Eden played the idol on her? Was it like a, huh? Or was it like a, yes?
I think she knew he was going to anyway.
Yeah. So if that was the case, and it's like, I'm playing this idol on you, if I'm her or him, we say, look, give me the advantage to hold, because if this idol doesn't work, then, we don't lose the advantage. And then she'll be like, why isn't it going to work? He's like, well, I don't really know if it's no. I'm just going to put off the flag. I don't have the paperwork for it. But, I'm going to go with it.
No. I don't think she handed it off. I would love if she did, but I don't think she did.
No.
What a letdown that will be, right?
And then what are the rules if she comes back? Because that advantage was good for the first merge vote. If she comes back in, is her advantage dead? Or does she get to bring it back and has a safety without power at merge?
If I'm production, I'm letting her use it. For sure.
Pretty sure the rules of Survivor with anything like that.
If you voted out,
Survivor, if you're out, it's gone.
Rules. Dan can make his own fucking rules.
Well, no, I'm just saying that's what the rules are. On normal Survivor, I don't know what Canberra rules have.
Yeah, but then people are often Edge and Extinction, finding idols they could use and they come back in the game. So
we found it at Edge of Extinction.
Yeah, I'm just saying you can make up whatever rules you like.
Wentworth's idol was dead the minute she stepped foot on Edge of Extinction.
Okay, they're dead. It's fine. Yes, I agree. They're dead.
But again, and with all LRGs, you kind of got to think on the fly. Without any spoilers, Jules, Sydney season 2, the amount of things we had to suddenly be like, okay, that's not gonna we need to rejig what we were thinking here, because we just need to fix it and do it on the fly. You just need to improve the game. Something that you actually didn't think of has happened.
Well, the scenario here is
for funsies, they should absolutely let her play it if she comes back. But I don't think it will happen either.
No, look, well, she's probably going to get some. Well, just assume it's me, Anthea. Whoever comes back in the game is probably going to get some sort of advantage. They'll be immune anyway, or something. Presumably, they won't let them be Matt Elrodded, I would expect. So then it's a double thing that she can then use on someone else, which would actually be quite interesting. From a reduction point of view, okay, you created a first ever Survivor advantage. You then made them say this phrase at Tribal Council, which Anthea was able to do and obtain the advantage. Then she gets booted with it and it's dead. And Sab couldn't even get it out. And they said they were going to rehide it. And no one ever found it. So it's a really
might have been found.
What, you think we need a flashback for that? Why?
Well, they could still find it. Like, they could still be found in the next couple episodes.
Well, possibly, but no one's found it yet. So the point I'm saying, no one's found anything. Let's be clear in this.
They're not good at finding advantages.
Anything in this game that wasn't directed to them by the first clue they were given. That's where they were told to go to the water well, and that's where the sea thing came from that gave, Andrew and presumably to some extent Eden the idea to take that thing. But that was
I think it's hard as well. They might have been too well hidden. It's hard in LRGs because there's just not as much time to go searching for stuff. So if something is hidden really well, it might not get found.
Yes, when I searched high and low and high again for an idol in Melbourne Survivor, it had been hidden in just such a good spot. Even though I was searching everywhere, I still couldn't find it. It was a legit spot, but I think it's the sort of one you'd probably need like a good couple of hours of searching to find to hit it. Like you get lucky.
You don't have it in LRG. You don't have hours to search for idols.
Vitara just put it in such a good spot, and then I asked her where it was after. I'm like, because I searched everywhere, and she said, "Yeah, it was here." And I'm like, I guess that's a fair spot, but I don't think I was ever going to find that. And then they just put it on the campfire.
You'll find the happy medium there somewhere.
Yeah.
Something that you need to actually have a search for to find, but not super obvious.
Yeah. But yeah, I also felt that it should have been, it's not an idol. It's a particular advantage. There's only one of them. The consequences of failure was it was going to be rehidden. I thought it should have been rehidden perhaps in a more obvious spot, given it had already been gone through once. And then that, triggers people thinking about, if people know about it on the swap, so Yellow didn't know about it, right? So, because I don't think Sab told anyone. So you don't have this conversation. Or Anthony was saying that at Tribal Council, that was weird. It's like, oh, yeah, well, that's because this is the advantage. And then, Sab said that twice, there's narrative and discussion about it. I don't think it's been found. I think we would have heard about it. And I think that what an incredible waste of my time to watch it and then discuss it at your time and the viewers' time to discuss it on this program. If it just goes out with Anthea and we never hear from the bloody thing again. Should have just been cut from the edit. From the edit. And we get this weird Tribal Council where Anthea says what in the world 6 times and we're talking about what the hell was that about.
And so well. She did it so well.
She did it so well. I think anyone would have noticed.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Anyway, let's go back in.
Challenge?
Yeah. So
Amy wins. Go, Amy. Good work. And now we go to new rando bird.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, we were talking about how Aiden's in a really good spot. Sorry, what were you saying?
Squin feels very blindsided.
Yeah, she was surprised to see Maddie as the vote. She was expecting it to either be her or Aiden. But she's got a really good attitude. Like she's talking about, all right, I just need to ingrain myself with these people. I need to make myself indispensable is the word that she used. And I think that was really clever. She started, we see a conversation with that group talking about their challenge strengths for things coming up. And she's like, oh yeah, I can pretty much do anything. I'm fit. I played basketball elite level, but I'm pretty good at puzzles. I'm a good visual person. She's just basically telling them all, yeah, vote me out right before merge.
I'm a big old fucking threat.
Yeah, this wasn't the smartest play. I think
I just read the what are we good at during challenges conversation that definitely happens every time. Watching LRG, the conversation happens every time. Like, what are we all good at? What are we going to put ourselves on?
But the thing is, you don't want to ever go into that being like, guys, I am a fucking genius when it comes to puzzles. Like, put a puzzle down, give it to me. I'll do it. I'll be right. You sort of I guess I'm good at puzzles. Like, I'm
kind of an all-rounder. Like, put me where you need. I'm not really good at puzzles, but anything else I can kind of like throw my head at. That's like how I approach it every time. Like, whatever else you need, I could give it a crack. Maybe we'll see.
I also don't think.
Except then we put you as the leader of a challenge, and then the inner Scorpio comes out, and it's scaring everyone.
They can see that in the challenge, in that conversation. I'm not saying it. They can see me in a challenge, and I mean, this is to be seen yet in Melbourne. You'll see this. It's fun.
I'm not really sure, just by the way, just if there's viewers and you're commenting, I'm not seeing the comments.
I actually was checking before to make sure it actually went live on Facebook. It is, and just no one is.
There's 9 people watching. There's a good and solid numbers of live viewers. No one's placed a single comment.
There's no comments on it.
So I don't know if that's unusual. So I don't know if the comments are broken. If someone's there and wants to test one, that would be great. But if you are, if you're not working, apologies. Glad to still have you here with us.
Eden.
Hi, Eden. We've been talking about you at length, as I'm sure you know.
Thanks, Mel.
Oh my God. Thanks, everyone. We feel great. We feel
I love a little Mel appearance in the dream team.
I was like, the beard. I was like, I've written Lily like Mel's beard.
Yeah.
In capital letters.
They're all just dropping in now. Oh,
We're pandering.
We're pandering. We need attention. That's why we're here.
We're orcas. We need you to pay attention to us.
Why is the comment section so empty? What is going on? I can't handle it. like if there's no viewers, so be it. I just console myself that this thing will get 1,000 views like later on, right? And I don't even see those stats. So I just tell myself that hundreds of people are watching, right? But if there's 10 people watching live, I'm like, well, that's good. That's a good number. And where are the comments?
It's because we didn't shout out the players that have watched us. Normally we're like, hey, we've had these people here.
Yeah, I have been doing that, but that's just that was just like a cheap way of tagging them in the post to get them to watch live.
Of course.
See? Get them a notification.
Let me get them. So and during the what are we good at chat, Andrew's very quiet in this moment. You can see he's sat there, his head's down, he is reflecting.
I'm not good at anything.
Thinking about the votes, and then he is out for blood. And then he is out for blood.
Do you know what he's good at?
Yes, Todd, that would make us feel better.
He's not watching with a group of 50.
Yes, he is.
Do you know what Andrew's really good at? Running fast with a blindfold on. Fuck me. He was just going for it.
He just fearless.
The complete opposite to Loz, who was like high ponying. And
in her mind, she was running. I can see in her mind, she was sprinting.
Andrew had no regard to his own health.
I love how Bethany's doing. There's nothing in front of you. Just go.
And run. That was very me energy. I was like, just run.
They also, I don't know if you saw, I think it was Sab that was holding it, had an actual blindfold because the buffs aren't enough, right? You'd see
the buffs. I saw Sab
wearing a blindfold and then the buff. So very much a proper pitch black blindfolding situation.
Yeah. Oh, they were 100% blindfolded.
Back to new Rando Bird.
Yeah.
So Andrew's quiet, and then we flip to him. He's just out for blood. He is out for Oscar. He is like, what the fuck just happened? I am pretty much furious about it. I hate him. It was just he is the person who needs to go.
Now listen. We discussed this last week, and it's a fair call by Andrew. Number one, he wants a target. But number two, if they had an idol, Oscar really fucked up here. Really did fuck up.
Absolutely. Yeah, we see a really good conversation with Andrew, Pauline, and Sab just being like, what's he doing? Why would he say that? And I think they all figure out exactly what he was doing. He wants to create the one-on-one bond with Aiden.
And then we see that in the confessional.
They're spot on.
You don't see the editing. We see that in conversation with the confessional. He's like, I want that.
Yeah.
And then he's like, and I want Andrew gone. I want to work with the others to get Andrew. when we're seeing that like Oscar v. Andrew face-off coming.
Yeah,
Although,
the
and then we
documentary
find out
episode
that,
is
and then we find
brilliant.
out that Pauline's like a super fan.
Oh, I knew I liked her.
Did we ever think she wasn't a super fan?
No, but
She's
I think it's like when they.
her whole energy just screams super fan.
Yeah.
I think the energy that you're picking up on is nerd,
No.
which I am here for as a fellow nerd.
Well, who goes on LRGs that isn't a Survivor nerd? There are the people that are Survivor nerds, or people that have never heard of the show before, right? That's what you get. There's no filthy casuals on the LRGs. There's people that are there for the adventure, and people that are all because their friend said they should do it, or some family member that's like, you'd be really good on this, you should go do it. Or you have people that are obsessed with the game. That is all you get on LRGs.
Oh yeah, I've seen some filthy casuals in my time.
You reckon?
I've seen some people that shouldn't even qualify as casuals.
Correct.
No, but they're the first group then.
Shouldn't even come down to play. But anyway,
that's the first group.
But
the filthy casual is someone who's like, oh, I've watched like some of it. So says she's the filthiest casual of all.
Ed and non-Survivor nerds on our season were Maddie, Amy, Ed, and Squin.
That's only 4.
Maddie is not a Survivor nerd. Okay.
Yeah,
Maddie was called in by Mal. Mal recruited Maddie.
I'm surprised about Maddie. I would have thought she was, and I guess this is why doesn't give a shit about the interview. She's too busy living it up in Turkey.
And I'm surprised about Squin. She's so.
Nah, Squin's not a Survivor person.
No, but the way her brain thinks is very like.
Yeah, she's got too much other shit going on. She's podcasting about basketball. She's playing basketball.
Yeah, she has that competitive head. Yeah.
She's had a busy life.
And I recruited Squin. Makes sense.
Yeah. She's had a busy life. She hasn't spent it all watching Survivor. I absolutely believe that. And obviously, we know from Ed that he's never been part of the show.
In this episode, he's like, that's a confessional. I have no idea what I'm doing. Like, I'm like, stop it.
Like, just watch a little bit of it before you go on.
No, I love the confident himbo archetype where they
I do too. It's
watching the show. They're just so confident in life that like I can just go on this and win because I'm just so good.
Yeah, I'm fast. People like me. We love it.
There you go. Mal's giving us the whole rundown. There we're getting all the comments now. I had met Maddie a year or so earlier. I saw a shot of her visiting Canberra and thought she has a personality and will send the application to her.
She came in pretty Survivor raw.
What does he mean? I saw a shot of her visiting Canberra. That might be a typo.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, it wasn't Maddie. Yeah. Maddie was Mal's family person on that org that you did, Jules, that I was your family person for.
Yes. As he said that he recruited her, the penny dropped. I was like, oh, my God.
That was Maddie.
I have talked to Maddie before.
Yeah. Yeah, she was Mal's family member for the org that you did.
And Mal was my only ally in the game at that point.
Pauline said she told everyone she saw a Facebook ad and thought it'd be a fun adventure. So she was.
That's what I did.
That's how I came across Melbourne Survivor.
That's how I came across Sydney. It was a Facebook targeted ads, and then that's what I shared for Melbourne.
We love Brent Viver.
Oh, was Maddie in Brent Viver? Was she?
No, she was Mal's loved one in season 2. Season that I played.
And I was Jules' loved one.
And,
so
Dani was my loved one.
Oh, okay. There we go. So
yeah, there is a group chat that exists somewhere of me, Dani, Mal, and Maddie. And Brendan Pratt.
Yeah, and it was just Mal and I talking about NRL.
Brent Viver season 4 is current. Season 3? Season 4. Season 3? 4 is currently on for those wanting to tune into the Facebook. So Pauline said she saw a Facebook ad and thought it would be a fun adventure.
So she said, I told the others I saw a Facebook ad.
Oh,
it was like a thing. Okay. The thing is, though, like, look, it's a good lie, but I presume this is built on I'm not a big Survivor fan. And I think you have to be a reasonably strong Survivor fan to have Zuckerberg sending you LRG ads in your algorithm.
Not necessarily. If it's just something in your area,
I also think, or you like, you like visited the page, or you like Survivor on Facebook. Like you don't have to necessarily be like because I've been on like targeted where you like and you like literally put in likes Survivor, likes The Amazing Race, likes or similar pages to this to target those brackets of people.
I'm interested, Pauline, if that was what you're saying. Like, had you watched Canberra? We'll find out one day when we talk to Pauline.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we continue on.
If she's trying to hide her super fandom, showing up in a dress is a perfect way to do that. Because I would look at her and be like, "What are you doing in a dress?"
This girl has no idea what she's doing.
Yeah,
that's actually I'm for it. Like, I like that she's come. Actually, I think that most of this cast is dressed okay. I like casts that are dressed in unique ways that show off their own personality or whatever
like the gender reveal hats.
I don't want people in like all activewear. It's the worst.
Yes, you guys I'm familiar with this. I got told not to wear leggings a day before I was due to play. And I had planned on wearing leggings.
Packed. And I was like, what the fuck?
I mainly didn't want to repeat of Dale's grey sweatpants, okay? Like, I was trying to manage that situation, but I was also, like, I went on with a leather jacket and cons. It wasn't super practical, but I had an appearance and a look, and it's easy to identify who I am when you're watching it on the show. And I want everyone to be individual and different and show off who they are in their style. The style that they would wear, you know, out to a party, not just because that's what Survivor normally is. You have people in there in their stupid suits and stuff.
I guarantee you, the clothes I was wearing, I would not wear to a party.
But you know what I mean? Like, you have people in old school Survivor wearing their suit. Yeah. You know, exactly what Maroon did. Yeah.
Rupert and his.
Anyway, we've gone to tangent again. So we get a little bit of love and we tangent off. We get some love and we're like,
it was a very serious
episode. Running skirt with built-in shorts. Clever.
Oh, it's a skort. It's a skort.
I assumed that you at least had like bike shorts or something underneath.
But it's got their own bike shorts. It's a skort. For
practicality reasons. But
my 9-year-old loves her skorts too.
If I was a skirt person, I would love a skort. Anyway. So yeah, look, we're discussing voting for Oscar, and then Oscar is wanting to vote for Andrew. You know, we see him talking to Sab, and there's a really good conversation. I like the way he's like, he's basically telling her, look, I'm thinking about it, it's on my mind, but I'm not going to do it without you and without Pauline. Like, I think that's he's letting her know, but he's like, I'm not going to do it. But if you want to, do you want to? I don't want to if you don't want to, but if you want to, I could want to. Do you want to?
I'm not going to do it without you because I wouldn't want to make that move without you, but also I need 2 people to actually do this move.
Yeah.
Like, he actually needs one of them to actually do
this without you, but I want you to think that I could, but I want you.
You can't. It's a 3-3 if he doesn't bring
I know, but like
I feel like Oscar is like most 20-year-olds, particularly 20-year-old men. He seems very well-meaning, but like this is the confidence in being a 20-year-old, particularly a 20-year-old man. That and I don't think this is Oscar. Oscar seems like quite a down-to-earth guy, but just like it's such a pure belief in yourself, and that what he's doing.
Is there time to make an Oscar and Ethan comparison?
Yeah. I don't know, like
a 20-year-old guy, very confident, very lovable.
The difference about Oscar though is I think Oscar thinks he's being very sneaky and like, you know, but he's so obviously transparent, and I don't think he realizes how transparent he is to everyone in terms of what he's doing.
Yeah.
Like the stuff with Aiden, but that the same conversation he had with Sab and Pauline, like it's like, yeah, like, you know.
But what else would we do? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I do think that if we are going down the path of Andrew versus Oscar, I think it's Oscar that's going to go next episode.
Well, that's an interesting call because I do think that Andrew has the ability to link up with keep Pauline and keep Sab potentially, but then who is he bringing Squin in to that vote? That's what you think? Okay.
Yes, I think had Oscar not brought up this conversation, I think then Sab and Pauline are maybe thinking Andrew's throwing out Oscar's name. Can we really trust him? But you know he's got good reason. But then Oscar's doing the exact same thing. Which side do you go with? The one who has a clear connection with the person on the other side, or the one that doesn't? So I would personally be keeping Andrew.
It's just a dream fucking scenario for Squin. Also,
she's just like, ignore me. Yeah.
Also, Aiden, and you know what? Also, Sab and Pauline. You're this close to the merge, and to have two
Infighting.
people you don't really care about either of them really, and then just invite. You know, it's not going to be you at that
My
point.
girls are representing.
I can't. I'm going to be really interested to see Andrew this next episode, and if he's successful going into merge, because it's been a very different Andrew than what we saw in Exile. Not in the sense of who he is as a person, but he has had no agency.
He was in control
the whole time. The whole time. Well, he thought he was, but he was actually linked in with. He wasn't on top. The top was always Jake.
Yeah.
How and
he was in there with them.
What was that woman's name?
Samara.
Yeah, they were always the top, and he was there with them, but they were always the three. I think he thought he was bigger than was, but whatever. Understanding he always had the power. He's had no power in this game
at all.
So it'd be interesting to see, because even in merge, he's going to be an underdog, going to be a threatening underdog. I think he's going to struggle there too.
Yeah, I think he's someone that is going to struggle to play from the bottom. I think he's the best place for him to play from is from the top. That's the only place that he can really play from. Some people play better from the bottom. He's not one of them.
I don't like though that his idol won't be valid at merge. I don't like that. I think the pre-merge idols should go to at least like finals. Not at least. They should end at final 7, but they should go into the merge.
I don't mind it.
I like advantages. I'm not like an absolute purist. I guess it comes down to how you view it. Like I don't mind there being a few idols floating around. We know Dani loves there being like five. Dani loves a scenario where there's like 5 immunity idols at merge.
Exactly. No, but also if they've got an expiry, then
pairs is a fucking challenge. Pairs is a challenge and a shit ton of advantages, and idols I fucking love it.
He loves it.
Hashtag not.
And people getting voted out without having a single vote.
I'm like hot and triggered by it. I'm like, that's triggering.
No, but see, if there's an expiry on it, they're more likely to get played.
You probably are the only person
accidentally idling herself out if there wasn't an expiry on her own idol.
Yeah, but they can't even play it. Like, there's too many mechanics around this.
Yeah. I feel like what they were going for, which I loved, in Australian Survivor, they had the ones where they were on the other camps and there had to be a swap. Like the blue one was down on the pink tribe. I think they were sort of going for that moment, which, I would have been here for that as well. I think we were robbed of a moment of getting a handover. But,
I think they should have made the paperwork more available. I don't know. It'll be interesting. I'm really interested to see in this next episode how Andrew acquires the paperwork.
Yeah.
And then how that didn't happen earlier.
Yeah, you can't exactly attach a scroll to that thing because then it'll be like, I think they wanted people to be not sure that was an idol or not. But
from a production point of view, is it okay for them just to hand you the paperwork once you got it? Like, that's a bit odd, isn't it?
I think they didn't want them to. I think they wanted the whole question mark of, is this an idol? Is it not an idol?
Yeah, but there's too many mechanics. Now there's too many mechanics around this idol.
You can't have that moment of like, I don't know if I've got an idol. I've got something. And the specification of it needs to be played on this. I think the idea of production handing them the note afterwards probably should have been done as soon as they swapped. And Eden's talking about, I've got an idol. They probably should have been like, and just quietly, you don't. You got nothing.
We just need clarity on what the intent was here, because I think it's just
great theory. Great in theory. I like it. I like when there's catches on things. It's kind of fun.
I think, Dani, you're probably the only person in LRG history who voted out without a vote.
Well, people that go on to Rocks, maybe.
No, they would still have a.
You go to Rocks.
It's only gone to Rocks. Rocks only happened once.
Yeah, you don't. If you go to Rocks, the people who get votes are immune. So if you go to Rocks, you go out without a vote against you.
Yes, I have to check that if he had a vote, because I thought there might have been singular votes.
I don't know. I can only think of one Rock draw.
Yes, there's one in Exile.
From Andrew.
Andrew's. Yeah, that was it. Well, we don't have much left except for the challenge. Jules, you want to slam on all these contestants and how much better you could do on the puzzle?
Yeah, I would have crushed it. 24 minutes. Did it actually take 24 minutes, guys? Like, You kept swapping out. Come on. I could have had that done. I reckon it would have taken me maybe 2 minutes.
Isn't this sort of a puzzle that you either know how to do or you don't? Like some people would just
I
know
think
how
so,
to
yeah.
do
No,
it.
well, there's a million different tangrams out there, so they're not all the same. But it is one that is like you don't progress on it. You either have it or you don't.
It was
And
24
these guys did not.
Yeah.
Oh, one thing I want to say on the Yellow Tribe.
Mhm.
You guys, I think you two both know what I'm going to say, but we had John and Eden and Abs and Bethany all change their tops.
You hate it.
You don't both know how I feel about this.
You hate it.
I hate it. I hate it.
Especially
I
on
want
this
it to be super clear. It doesn't matter to me because I'm someone that watches every episode twice and I make notes. But for Ed's wife or whoever that's sitting at home watching, she has no idea who's who unless he's explaining it to her. Like, just let them keep their old colors so that it's very clear, oh, this person was from the Black Tribe and now they're on yellow. They've got their buffs so we know what tribe they're on now. Just don't change their outfits, please. Although I did like the yellow tops better than the black tops. Anyway.
And Anthea was repping Vince from Melbourne Survivor.
The bananas.
The banana shirt. That was There was an episode title named after Vince's banana shirt. I think the banana shirt can be deceiving or something was the title. So Eden also wanted to show.
I did like his yellow
shirt. Of
course
you did, Eden. Of course you did.
Very pretty.
Yeah. See, their contestants aren't saying no. They want to wear this stuff. But yeah, I agree with you, Jules. It doesn't feel survivory either.
Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, and look, yeah, we have a bit on the Yellow Tribe. Look, they're oh wait, have I skipped the challenge? No? Wait, where's the challenge?
Let's do the challenge now.
Yeah. So we did go to the Yellow Tribe for a little bit before then. Like we already see John is talking about he's left his alliance behind was the words he used. And I thought that was very interesting. Like we knew that if they went to tribal, he was going to flip. But yes, we had the challenge, blindfolded, one caller collecting pieces. Bethany and Aiden as the callers. It's pretty close in that part, and then it all goes out the window at the puzzle because that takes forever. Squin finally gets the solve. Go Squin. So she's good at everything. Every single thing. Go Squin.
Is doing this puzzle in 24 minutes good at everything? Just better than the other?
The fact that she is the only one that could do it.
Looked pretty easy on the example. I have to say that. Look, full credit to the cast.
It is one that looks easy.
It looked easy. I'm like, and then once, like when I saw the example, and then once they were doing it, I couldn't remember how it went again. Like, so even though I'd seen the answer.
The key with it is because it's mostly triangles, they're just different sizes. Yeah. And then you've got the square that fucks you up and the what's that shape called?
Yeah.
That
it
one.
Seemed to be, it seemed to be,
put them together. And then it's basically
triangles, triangle, and then you fix the diagonal with the balance. That seemed to be the answer if anyone's ever doing this again. But
it isn't as easy as it looks because you always end up with like a little bit sticking out here. But yeah, no, tangram puzzles, I gotcha. All puzzles. That's where I rock in challenges.
Eden, said we all sucked, but I don't think you went to as Malcolm and Sophie were test to Canberra Survivor Season 2 level where they just stopped the puzzle and got a new one because no one could do it. I'm pretty sure that's what happened, right? We discussed this.
Which one are you talking about?
It's one of the last ones.
No, I'm thinking of the Final Four puzzle where they had like literally the example sitting there so they could go and have a look and come back and put a few pieces in and go back.
Yeah, the Final Four puzzle was a different puzzle. There's some other puzzle that was a different puzzle.
Okay.
They reference it. Don't Live and Dead reference it here that it like this comes nowhere near the record.
Yeah, they were like, "Is this the longest puzzle ever?" They're like, "No."
Why?
But you know that when they're saying it's taking 24 minutes, that they're going, Jesus, we didn't schedule this much time.
Yeah, there's much time for this challenge. Yeah, 100%.
This was meant to be a 5-minute thing.
Yeah, I know you were booted, but you were there on the day. You're going to remember what I'm talking about better. I'm not harassing you. I think Sophie was still in the game though. Sophie, what am I talking about? Sometimes they make it up, but it's good to hear that it went for a long time. The Melbourne Survivor final.
Didn't go for an hour.
It didn't. It was half an hour. Did not go for an hour. Yes, he's confirming what I said. Yes, there you go.
Yeah.
Inside knowledge.
Twin takes the win for Rando Bird Tribe. We go to the Yellow Tribe, and Eden's like, guys, this is what's happening. We're having a double elimination next. It's going to be individual immunity. We don't need Ed anymore. Get rid of him.
See the future.
Or
Like,
he's
everyone's a
just
big
watched
guy.
one of these. Or he's just watched one of these LRGs before. Oh, good on him. 'Cause
Well,
no one
that's what he
else
said.
has.
He was like, in Canberra season 1, this is what happened. We're going to fucking do it again.
And he's
Meanwhile,
bang on.
you know, like Andrew wanted to vote out Loz because she had an old school Survivor t-shirt, which meant she maybe had seen him back.
Maybe it's even back
If
on
we had Eden,
Survivor,
who's
and
like,
him being like, I watched all the seasons of Canberra.
if we had Eden there who's talking about watching season 1 and like knowing exactly like the moves, like we just covered that like I don't know 5 months ago. I'd forgotten that.
Yeah.
Like,
I hadn't remembered specifically when it was, but most LRGs will have a double before merge, just for time reasons.
yeah, some form.
But yeah, they're like, we're gonna get rid of the big guy. Do they have an advantage? They're all looking pretty comfortable. They're all looking fine. Maybe they've got something. And then Eden goes to all of right. So the vote is going to be John, and John's right there. He's like, no, don't write my name. Don't.
Yeah, I love the slip of the tongue. The slip of the tongue there. I was like, oh.
He looks like a John. What does that even mean?
Was that a slip of? I can see that Ed looks like a John. Was that a slip of the tongue? Like he was thinking of voting John, or just John's on his mind? I don't think he was thinking of voting John.
No, I don't think he was voting
John
for John. It's just like you just think that when somebody says the wrong name, you instantly be like, oh, they're actually voting for me. They made it act like.
Is that what he's happening?
No, I don't think that's what happened there. But in that moment, if you hear someone say your name accidentally, you're like, actually, they're coming for me.
Mm-hmm.
Todd said they're looking comfortable because they'd got John. Yeah, obviously. Yeah. And Eden did actually think it was John for a second for some reason. All credits to John. And you can say that he did fall apart. We'll talk about this and we'll close this up now. He fell apart a bit in the conversation with Bethany. But I think this is going to serve John very well. I think he could go very far in the game. He's a very calm player. Like, no matter what's happening, he's calm. Eden says his name by mistake. He just has a little reaction, like it's a joke, but he's calm. He's making a big flip. He's calm. Even when he's blowing up that Bethany conversation, he's still pretty calm about it. And I think he's solid. He's stable.
Mm-hmm.
He's trustworthy, even though he's flipped on his old tribe. Like he still comes across as trustworthy and loyal, and he's calm. And these are the sort of things going to be very appealing to any group of people looking for numbers. Going into
doesn't come across threatening in any way.
No, even when we see him having the conversation with the yellows where he's like, guys, level with me. And are you guys got ties to those people over there? Like, am I coming in and then just going to be the first one out? Like, and he's very calm about it. He's not like, well, if I'm going to first out, I'm not voting with you. It's like, just, know, is that what's happening? And then he's like, well, I've got 2 people over there that I can bring in, Is that what we're going to do? And they're like, no, we're not with those people. The 2 people on the bottom, they're over there. And I'm assuming they're talking about Andrew and Oscar.
Yeah. So he's very calm. Look, I wouldn't let him get anywhere near the end, to be honest. I think he'd have a very strong winning activity. I wouldn't let him. John, I wouldn't let him be in the final Tribal Council. I think he'd have a very good chance of winning. But I think he's going to go. Would that be? How do you think Nick would? Do you think Nick would celebrate John winning, or do you think Nick would?
How competitive is Nick? I don't know.
That would be brought up at every family function.
I'm not going to lie.
If my dad and my fiance are Canberra Survivor winners, and I am just
I got my sister onto an LRG and she beat my placement in Melbourne Survivor, which is still unknown to most people, I would be hella pissed.
You'd have to expect it's coming up at his speech at the wedding, right? Like, just to slam that down. I won my new daughter-in-law. And Nick, of course, came in second.
Winning Canberra Survivor was kind of easy, isn't it? I mean, I've done it. Mom's done it.
Yeah. Nick
did you? Oh, wait.
It's not going to happen because all these players are too savvy to let someone like him get to the end.
He'd have to go on. He'd have to do a Bob Crowley immunity run.
And then find some goats to take to the end. There's no goats in this game. There just aren't any. I don't know who, there weren't even goats at the start.
Can we talk about that for a minute? When we talked about it in Sydney, I talked about that being the best cast top to bottom. And you said, we were debating back and forth if Melbourne was better. This cast is going to be up there. This is a very strong cast.
It's very strong.
It is very strong. I still think Melbourne has the highest highs, but I agree that Sydney had a more balanced group.
I'm probably going to put Canberra 3 in the third place of best LRG casts.
You can put it above mine. I'm not going to be offended.
I put yours above Playing with Fire, so
it may be better than Sydney. I'm not really sure. I have to see how it all pans out. But the cast is very strong, and as I just said, there's no goats. There's no people here that you're like, oh my god, that person getting dragged to the end because they can be beaten. Like,
no,
I can't see anyone who is like that and who's going to appear like that. It's a credit to the place. It's also a credit to the edit. The edit's been done very well. I felt like I know all 16 of the players, even the ones that got booted early just because of the swamp of sadness. Gives me a bit of extra time with them as well. I feel like I know all these people and I know who they are, what they're about, how they operate, which you don't always get, and that's a credit to themselves, but to the edit. And this has been a very good edit so far. It's very, very well done.
Very well edited.
Not Dan's first rodeo. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, I think people start getting it really well around 3. But yeah.
But yeah, look, most of this scramble period, I think we've pretty much discussed. John was flipping well before the challenge even. He was already on the yellow bandwagon.
Yeah.
Bethany straight away is like, John's not with us. And the other two are just, I don't know about that. I did like the moment where like they're talking to Todd and Eden just steps back to Abs and is like, I thought that was, whoever filmed that.
That didn't give him a chance to speak. Like, Anthea actively asked Eden in that conversation what he thought. And then Eden started to speak and Beth just awkward all over it and was just like, no, like, this is what's happening. And Eden was like, fuck me. Like, all right.
She was right, wasn't she?
Pardon? She was completely right. Absolutely. Her read was brilliant here. So I could see why she's like, fucking listen to me. I have this read. You can fucking... like, pay attention. And they're like, no.
You got limited time. Look, they obviously did pay attention. Eden played his idol. Like, they did pay attention. They did listen to it.
In the way the events go, then Beth goes and talks to John, has that one-on-one, and then John
I think that's what tipped the
and then Beth goes back to them and says, John just gave me this name, and that's how that happens.
Yeah.
Look, I don't normally make notes about tribal itself, but I've got most people giving you traditional vague answers. And John is the only one who's actually answering a question and he's lying. He's like, nah, just it's us versus them. With there's 4-3. The other tribe voted out. We're going to stick together. Sure you are, John.
He is strong lying, and I think it's reasonably convincing. They're reasonably convincing lies, but for everything else that's come before, because I don't think the old blacks are buying it at all, and the yellows don't look like they're not like worried about it. Like
they needed him to do that. Like that was like they expected that of him, so that it wasn't look like he was with them.
Yeah, he was really trying to sell this as blindside,
but it wasn't there.
And then we got a 4-2-1.
So that it still counts for the points. If
no.
I mean, it means that there's a 3 points for Anthea on top of wherever she gets booted in my complicated system I've created. I think that's about it. It's a long episode so far. So when we started this episode, I'm like, how is this going to make the hour? It's gone over. What's an hour and a half?
Only because we asked for comments. If we hadn't asked for comments, we'd be done by now.
Well, I think we've reached the end of it. So this is sadly our last episode with Jules for a few weeks. How long?
4 weeks.
4 weeks. So we won't have Jules, but I'm
also going to be representing the world.
Yes, she will also be snubbing us off like the contestants that refuse to come on for interviews. Traveling the world.
9:30 Australian Eastern Time is 5:30 a.m. where I'm going to be. I am not getting up at 5:30 on holiday to podcast, as much as I love you both.
Well, that's fine. Joining Dani and I will be the one and only Annabelle. She hasn't watched any of the season. I said she can just watch whatever episode we're up to, and I'm sure she'll come in and give us her brilliant takes and opinions. So we're losing Jules, but we're replacing her with someone of equal star power.
Cool.
That's nice.
I'll take that.
I was about to say more star power, but sure.
I was trying to be nice. Fine, more star power. I guess she wasn't a real thing.
Thank you, Sab. I will miss you too.
Eden is very excited by Annabelle.
And Sab's going to miss me.
Yeah. But then we'll have Jules back.
When I come back, it'll be like around probably final 7, final 8. It'll be really interesting. We'll be getting into the end game. My entire team, everyone listening, Sab, Pauline, Squin, Aiden, you all better be here when I get back. I don't want any of you going anywhere while I'm away.
Well, it could be not Pauline. Anyway, so Jules, we're going on holiday. Annabelle's coming. We'll see you all around this time next week. It might be Tuesday. It might be Thursday. I don't know. I have to accommodate Annabelle's scheduling, but we will be accommodating Annabelle's scheduling.
Lady.
She's an important person to get her on the program. So join us next week. We'll have Annabelle and we'll be talking about the show and hopefully one of Amy or Anthea. Anthea's commented live, so if she's booted, I think she'll come on. And surely Amy's going to be keen to just come off and come on the show and talk
We've
about how
been giving her a lot of love.
I don't think she's watched it live. She may have watched it, but to see.
Tell Amy we love her.
Yes, we want whoever come. Hopefully, whoever gets booted. I'm sorry you get booted, but please come on for the interview. We want to hear from you, the contestants, what it was like there on the day. So, thank you everyone for watching live. Thank you when you started commenting. We were feeling particularly unloved.
I was genuinely concerned that we weren't actually going live on Facebook, and that's why.
Yes, I was drowned in the flood of love. It was amazing. So thank you for that. We will see you next week. Thank you everyone who commented live. Thank you, Jules and Dani, and thank you everyone that's listening to this after the fact. We love having you here and supporting LRGs and our show. So much love to you all. We will see you next week.